Goeienaand. Good evening, fellow South Africans. And as a result of recent posts where I've offered to put people in touch with other people when they're really desperate to get out of South Africa, I have to tell you, I got up this morning and I've got a bunch of emails from people. I mean, a huge number of emails from people who are desperate to get out of South Africa. And what I'm going to suggest to everybody is that they look at the emails I've put down below. Sorry, not the emails, the links to videos that I've put down below. And they cover the subject of amnesty. If you look at what's happening at Tijuana at the moment in Mexico on the border of the US, there are these migrant caravans that are literally trying to invade the US. There's something like 8,000 illegal immigrants who are trying to come in on the basis of amnesty. Now, obviously, South Africans can't do that because they're landlocked. They're on a separate continent. They can't sort of do a great trek and go to another safe country. Having said that, I really believe that any white South African who lives in fear, and clearly from what I'm reading in these emails, a lot of people are, they should be able to seek amnesty in another country. And once you do that, the process is that you have to find a place to stay. Or in fact, I think the government of that country gives you a place to stay. And then they look into your application. And your application has basically got to demonstrate that you do live in fear. And clearly, everybody that I've got emails from do live in fear. I think they would have a very good case for amnesty in another country. I would, before jumping ahead and doing that, I would just say this: please do your own research on amnesty. Make your own decisions. I'm not saying that's the way to go. I'm just saying it is a way to go. The last thing in the world you want is for them to refuse amnesty and then send you back to South Africa, which is a possibility. So always bear that in mind. But amnesty is definitely an option to look at. As I say, I'll put a couple of links below. Before closing off this particular video, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read a couple of the comments I got from people because they really tear at my heartstrings. And obviously I'm not going to reveal who they are. They'll know who they are. And their privacy and identity is obviously totally protected. This is from a fellow who writes, I need to get help to get me and my mum out of South Africa. He says, I'm asking if anybody can help us to get out of South Africa. We're really fearing for our lives. Is there, by any chance, anybody who can help me to get into America and start a new life? My mum thinks that South Africa will get better. I don't see that happening. So I was thinking, if there is by any chance I can get into America and things get so bad in South Africa, then my mum is going to is got somewhere to go. So I'd be thankful, and God will bless whoever helps me and my mum. And then I just want to say thank you for all the amazing videos on YouTube. I don't miss any of them. I've been following you for a while now. And we are really thankful for your help in South Africa. May God bless you. Now, that's fairly typical of the emails that I'm getting from people. The operative word here is fearing for our lives. If you can demonstrate that when you seek amnesty. Basically, the country that you're going to cannot refuse you. You basically get amnesty, then you become a refugee, and they support you while you look for work and do stuff like that. So that's a very clear option for people who don't have the money to get out, and they just want to get the hell out of South Africa. Okay. Now I've got so many emails in here from people who have similar stories to tell. Here's one from Here's one from a lady who is 36-year-old, divorced, and has a 15-year-old daughter. And she says, my employer has reduced our salaries a few months ago by 20%. What I earn before the reduction barely supported my daughter and I as it was. I can no longer even afford to purchase fuel for my vehicle. And she goes on to say, we've exhausted our searches for ways out of this country. We don't have the funds, and our ages count against us. If we survive the coming civil war, we hope to save enough to retire in Panama, which seems to be our only option. I've even prepped my daughter by telling her that she needs to think about jobs she would like to do outside this country. She goes on to say, with BEE in place, I believe I may be without a job by 2020 for being white. My daughter has no future either, as she'll be unemployed due to being white. Myself and 3 men of the family have started survival training and attend sniper courses in preparation to saving ourselves. With a heavy heart, we have to share the reality of war with our children and started teaching the girls how to use a firearm. They were horrified and scared, but we can only hope that they will eventually get comfortable using a weapon. I've learnt that I am no G.I. Jane and try to keep a brave face, but the reality is heavy on our hearts and minds. We are all exhausted, and if there is any guidance in any way out of this country, it would be greatly appreciated. God bless you. And God bless you. Look, there are literally dozens of emails I've got like that. Okay, and I would literally spend the whole day responding to each one individually. Those who've asked to have contact with that fellow in Switzerland, I've forwarded your emails to him, and there are about 10 people who've looked at that approach, so give him time to have a look at them, and he's promised he will respond to all of them. Obviously, he can't accommodate everybody, but he probably has friends, or he might have ideas on what your options are. And again, amnesty in Europe is very clearly an option. It's really a case of picking your country. With amnesty, literally all you've got to do is, as you go through customs, and they're stamping your passport as you come into their country, when you go through that area, you say, we're seeking amnesty. And the process, as I understand it, is they then take you off to a side room, and they get you to fill in a form explaining why you're seeking amnesty. You've got to have an address they can actually contact you with. And so before seeking amnesty, just have everything set up as to exactly why you're seeking amnesty in that country. And probably a good thing to do is to Google amnesty and then see what other people are doing to get amnesty in countries, and which countries are just accepting people. Because some countries, like Canada, are. I know it's bloody cold in Canada. I've actually, as I mentioned, I've got a couple of videos here. One of them is actually about seeking amnesty in Australia, and another one is about seeking amnesty in Fiji. Now, the other option is New Zealand, seeking amnesty there as well. I believe, I've heard that South Africans have been successful in seeking amnesty in New Zealand in the past. I don't know what their circumstances were, and I don't know how they did it, but apparently that has actually happened. Apart from seeking amnesty, if you're elderly and if you have no money, you're going to be stuck. That's the bottom line. You're going to be stuck in South Africa, and that's why I have been a great advocate for getting the white community together, so that almost like they can form a lager, rather like what they've done in Orania. I mean, what they've done in Orania makes a lot of sense. And, that way you're in a safe community. You're not in the madness, which is the big cities of South Africa today. I shudder to think the horrors that you guys have to go through. I mean, oh my God, I feel so much for you. I really do. And I just wish there was more I could do or offer. The only thing I can offer, I'm going to be quite frank with you, I'm an old guy, I'm retired, I don't have a lot of money, and I don't have immigration expertise. So the only thing I can offer is basically putting up videos and where I see migration options or job options or things like that, mainly for the younger people, I will certainly post a video about that. But my message is that, hey, I can only put you in contact with guys like the fellow in Switzerland and the fellow in New Zealand, and you can then talk to them directly, or, as I said, and I keep on saying it in this video, is look at the amnesty option, because it's quite clear that white South Africans are fearing for their lives now in that country. And my understanding of amnesty is if you fear for your life, then you have got a case. Now, whether the country will take you or they'll send you home, I don't know. I'm not a prophet. But I think with what's going on in South Africa, taking that chance of going to a third country, I wouldn't look at the US at the moment with all the stuff that's going on there with their borders. I would certainly look at somewhere like Canada. And with Canada, they have an open border basically into the US, so you could start off in Canada, apply for amnesty there. As I said, I know it's bloody cold, but at least it's safe. Then once you've got a residency in a country like Canada, you can then move down into the US. With New Zealand and Australia, I've mentioned this before, if you were to seek amnesty in one of those countries and were accepted, you would then get refugee status, and then after you've got a job, after a couple of years, you would then be able to apply for permanent residency. And the beauty about Australia and New Zealand is they have basically what they call open borders. So if you've got an Australian passport or a New Zealand passport, you can live permanently in either country. So you can get a New Zealand passport, move to Australia, get a job in Australia, and live there permanently. So it's a really neat little system they've got here. All right, guys, I've forwarded the emails that people have sent me, which are directed to that fellow in Switzerland. So, and I've also sent you a copy of that, so you have his email address, so you can talk to him directly. With all these other emails that I've got, as I've said before, all I can do is just keep putting up videos and offering advice where I can. And I thought I'd just do this video talking about amnesty because clearly there are a lot of people, and I've only read a few paras from a few of the emails, there are a lot of people who are desperate to get out of South Africa. And as I said before, my heart goes out to you guys. All right? Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, and have a great day. Bye for now.